Hey y'all, what's going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What's going on, everybody? Come on in. We're not doing much today. What we are doing is just chilling out for a minute. We're gonna chill out just for a hot minute. That's what we're gonna do. Um, it is midday. What time is it about, y'all? It's about. Let me see. It's about. Let's see. Hey, come on in. It's about it's almost 2 o'clock. My goodness. So it's break time where I'm at. So I teach a class every Monday and Friday, and those are the days that I work virtually. And so when I am done with teaching my portion of the class, I log out and I take a breather because sometimes, whoo, hey, come on in. Welcome, welcome. Y'all come on in this room. Let's set a spell and talk for a little while. Y'all see me? I'm sitting on my little front porch and I'm chilling and I'm just kind of doing my thing right now. Trying to get up caught up on some things. Because when I say we are behind on a lot of stuff. But I wanted to talk about that and what happens when you get behind. So, for those of you all who are new here, it's your girl Paulette. I am the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses KCCR Radio. Um, and it is a platform that is going through a lot of changes right now, mainly with the content. And so we're working through all of that behind the scenes. So all of that aside, I'm also the host of the syndicated radio show, The Sunday Brunch. And it is actually home it is actually KCCR is actually the home for the Sunday brunch, but we also have it on different platforms as well. Some of which we had to recently pull back on. Um, hey, okay, thank you so much. Hi, Remy, how are you? Good to see you. So, y'all, I'm just sitting out here on my front porch today, and I'm literally, this is my break time, my lunch break time. Ultimately, I usually take about an hour, and then I log back in and run my reports, do the other stuff that I have to do when I'm working virtually so that I stay on task. So, when I go into the office, I don't have any catching up that I have to do, unless, of course, I'm just tired. I'm good. I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking. So I came on here for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it is beautiful outside today. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna take my little tripod outside, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna set a spell, and I'm gonna sip a little tea. Y'all know I like my little tea houses and stuff, and sip a little juice. But I'm actually sipping tea. Y'all, look at this. This is tea. If any of you all follow me on my reels, I go to this tea house here in town called the Emerald Chandelier. And so I bought two of their specialty teas. One is a lemon ginger oolong tea, which is great for digestion and for other stomach issues. But um, my daughter tells me it has a great aroma. Then the other one that I bought was rose. I think it's like rose, almond, and something else that's in there, and it's really pungent. And I had to buy my own little tea bags and everything to put in there. But anyway, it's all good. I steeped it, and that's pretty much what my tea looks like when it's done. This is the they call it snowflake is what it's called. This is the snowflake tea, and so I just make it up. It's lukewarm, which is kind of how I like it because y'all know I don't like cold weather. I don't like much of nothing cold, unless it's ice cream. So cheers, there you go. That's one. So I'm just sitting here and just enjoying my tea. Now you can sweeten the tea or not. Completely up to you. I don't sweeten mine. It wouldn't matter if I did or I didn't, um, based on what I got going on personally. But and then I also have some tea in here. Yes, honey, I believe in the fluids in the middle of the day. So um, I know, y'all. I don't even know if I can turn this. I don't think I can turn this around based on the way that I have this platform set up. Because right now I'm broadcasting to 6 different location. So I don't know if I'll be able to turn. Yeah, no, I won't be able to turn it around so y'all can see. So like where I live, where my house is, I actually live. I have a creek in the backyard, y'all, and there's woods right here in front of me, and like there's woods in the back. So it's a really listen. Do you know how many times I have wanted to sleep on my porch in the back? But I'm gonna tell you something. So since I am in the woods, we're not gonna talk about the lizards that have been scurrying across me as I've been sitting here. Because I came out here first and I was like, well, why don't I just go on and just go live, rather than come on tonight? Because you would listen. And I got that umbrella back there and I can lean back in one of my chairs. I have thought about it. I really have. Yes. Yeah, that part. Never mind. Never mind, because you don't know what you're gonna get. So like, the little birds and stuff, it's beautiful out here, but and one of the little lizards, I guess he called himself gonna rear up at me because his little chin like kind of it turned red and it expanded. So I guess he was kind of trying to tell me, you know, back up, Cletus. You don't want none of this. You don't want none of this. So anyway, cheers to the outside. Y'all know I'm excited because it's beautiful out here and I can see here all day. But let me tell y'all why I'm on live right now, because I'm not going live later. Let me tell you why. Because most of you all know that whenever I go live in the evening, it's because I'm done with working, number one, and I'm exhausted, number two. And then number three, I cook. But because we had Easter dinner, let me tell y'all what I ain't finna do today. I ain't cooking. So I might as well just come on now, enjoy my little break that I've given myself before I go back to work. Enjoy this tea. Enjoy this good vibes, good vibes. Y'all saw my little thing on Reels this morning. If you didn't, go ahead and follow my Reels. I'm telling you. Now, look at Prime is out, y'all. Amazon Prime is out. Listen, yes, I'm one of those. Y'all should come and sit on the porch with me one day. We just sit here and talk. But I don't have that many neighbors. Like someone is walking their dog, but you know, y'all know how it used to be back in the day when Big Mama and them would sit on the porch. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And they just be talking about, hey, baby, how you doing? Mm-hmm. Yes. And just be talking about folks. Listen. And I know it's not just me. I know it's not just me. Yeah, she left her husband early. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he left her and then she turned around and left him. And now here they got them babies and stuff they got to finish raising and stuff. Lord have mercy. I know it, girl. I know. That's how they be. Y'all know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so all of that aside, um, one of the other things that I like to do is I like to do a morning show in the morning. But because we're in the middle, and here's when I start telling my truth. Because we're in the middle of such transition with KCCR right now, with starting to add more talk shows. I've kind of been just, studying and practicing and learning how to remove myself from the day-to-day operation of the station, which is really good. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love, y'all. Go ahead and share this because I'm getting ready to get real deep. Okay. And share some stuff. Y'all, we are in the middle of making those changes with KCCR. We've done this before, but we've never really fully focused on bringing in a lot of talk show hosts, okay? Because it's really been like, play the music, do the advertising, that kind of thing. But with the changes that are happening, it puts you in a precarious situation because now you got to reach out, you got to sell. You got to sell the station, you got to sell who you are as a person, all of that. And it can become a challenge. It can be a huge, huge challenge. But let me tell you something that I've learned about myself in the past couple of weeks. Number one, like that song says, you can get back up again. Okay. Um, this has been a challenging past couple of months, even for the new year, because I was still recovering from surgery. Still not 100%, but I'm 99% better than I was. And so because of that, I've had to learn how to listen to my body a lot more because there was a time I would go, 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 go. And that was one of the reasons why I have a planner because honey, when you going as much as I was going, you work a full-time job, you're running your business, you're trying to grow your business so that one day it will become, that thing that will provide you the level of security that you need. I know I'm not the only one. I know I'm not just preaching to myself right now. So you get to the point where you might slip up every once in a while. Things that you had in your mind that you thought that you wanted to do may not make sense, right? And so when that starts to happen, you have to make some adjustments and you have to make some decisions. It is the prettiest bluebird that is flying by here on my trees and stuff. And y'all got a tree that won't bud. Excuse me. Well, anyway, so y'all, this tea is so nice and lukewarm. Gotta get you some good tea. I ain't talking about that store-bought tea, but anyway. So with the station, with the business, with Brownstone Worldwide, with the spices, with everything, I'm gonna tell you now, it is not for the faint at heart. I'm gonna tell y'all that to your face. It is not. It is not. Let me tell you again. It is not for the faint at heart. Um, because if I am not working on the business, I am working the business. If I am not selling, I am being sold, and I have to make decisions for the business. If I am, and the heart, and here's the other challenge, and this some of you all may be able to attest to this, so you may understand when it's your vision, when it's your dream. One of the other things that I've learned is no matter how much you might want other people to help, or that is so is again. I have a friend. He getting on my nerves. He getting on my nerves. He over here. All right, Sammy Salamander, I'm gonna put you on camera. Okay. He might get one of these house shoes today. He don't know. So um one of the hard things is understanding and realizing that your vision is your vision. Okay. And I think that's where I'm kind of going with this. Is your vision is your vision. And you can work it and you can change it and you can morph it and you can do all kinds of things to your business. But at the end of the day, it's got to do two things or it's a hobby. It has to generate revenue, and it has to be something that you're willing to work long term, because sometimes businesses don't turn a profit for a while, and it can be disheartening, especially if you're looking for it to be your everything right now. You know what I mean? So you have to make conscious decisions and conscious efforts, and you also have to have a good, strong support system in place. And sometimes your support system are your systems, right? So, lessons that I am learning as a business owner, where the business is actually generating revenue, is your business. You better run it, or somebody gonna run it for you and run you off. You got to be careful. And not just that, you want to be able to do a couple of things that I always do on Mondays anyway, and that's Money Mondays. You got to run your reports. You got to see where you're going. You got to see what's worked and what hasn't. I ran reports this morning before I taught my class, and I saw that we had a small dip in the amount of views and engagement that we usually have, especially on the Brownstone Center. And so I had to look and see what was working and what wasn't. And those are the decisions that you have. And then I have to learn how to pivot right at that moment. Like, are you willing to do that? Are you willing to make those adjustments as you need? Or are you going to keep going because you think it's going to work? Let them numbers speak for you. But that means that you have to be looking at your numbers. And that's the hard part that a lot of us don't want to deal with. So sometimes when I fall back on certain things, or I am looking to make adjustments or things change, it's because I looked at the numbers, and the numbers showed me that what I was doing wasn't working. And I let it show me for about 2 or 3 weeks before I say I'm going to make an adjustment. But the numbers don't lie. How do you look at your numbers? It's usually a report, especially if you're like on Facebook or you're on Instagram. You can look at your insights and you can find out for yourself what your numbers are. Well, how do I get to that? Well, you can. This little sucker right here, he is determined. You must see. You can't. I'm gonna start bringing him some lettuce out here. I wonder would he eat lettuce, y'all? I wonder. And he's not the only one. I got what do they call it? Little lizards. Here, lizard, lizard, lizard. Okay, so anyway, um, so I look at my numbers in the morning. I look at numbers for KCCR. I see where we are. I also like to know who's listening and where you're listening from. That's important because what I want to do once I find out where you're listening from, I run reports to find out what is most popular in terms of what people are listening to in those areas. And that's an easy search. You can find that out. You can find out like our biggest listener right now internationally is Nigeria. It blows my mind, but I try, and they love hip hop. They love hip hop. They love urban music. But one of the things that I talked about with some of my friends that work with me on the station was, should we add anything extra to it? But only the numbers would provide that, because Nigeria has not fallen off of my report for over a month. So I know now that we need to adjust to what is important to that particular demographic. The same thing with like the Sunday Brunch, the Brownstone Center, even with Yvette Berry, which is the page, my personal page, which is no longer personal. It is a professional page. I look at the reports in the morning. Where do I do that? I go to Creator Studio, and I actually downloaded the app onto my phone so I could look and see as needed about like what I needed to do, or what we needed to do once I saw the numbers. So like the Sunday Brunch and the Day Shift Academy, which is actually the day shifts page for the morning show, had a huge dip. A huge, like it was like, wait a minute, what? What's happening? But I also know that Facebook is going through some changes, because what we strategically do is we know what time to post. Posts are scheduled, and that stuff is actually set up sometimes 3 to 4 days in advance. Outside of news and information that we get, sales and anything else that we have are actually planned out and scheduled. So it's not like a random somebody sitting around. That individual who is paid actually sits down and does all of that for us, and then it goes out. And so we had a huge dip over the weekend, which I was really kind of surprised at. But I was like, okay, we can pick it back up. Let's look and see what actually got the most engagement, and that's what we're going to focus more on. Here's my point, folks, in talking about looking at your insights and looking at your numbers. Your insights and your numbers are going to show you where you need to emphasize your posts, and also your levels of engagement with your community. Um, why is that important right now for y'all and for what we're talking about? Um, we have to. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you, neighbor?
I'm tickled. I'm done. Good to see you.
I was just saying it was a beautiful day.
Yes. Do you see what I mean? We don't get that many people around here. And in all actuality, that was Imani coming from the back door. She was walking through the grass. I'm like, wait a minute, now that don't sound like just a regular old lizard. That sounds like something with feet. And that's sometimes at night when I'm sitting on the back porch, which I don't do often, you'll hear all kinds of stuff walking through the woods. And it's like, wait a minute, what was that? So, yeah, anyway, that's how come I had to stop and go, okay, what's that noise? So, anyway, all right. So, you have to look at your numbers. You got to see those numbers so that you can make a better decision on what goals you're going to reach for the week. Now, y'all know me, every Monday we do Money Mondays and we plan. So I have my stickers. They're right here. And I'm going to be going into my handy dandy notebook right here so that I can go over what the plans are for the week. So my granddaughter has given me a loving sticker. I don't really like, she knows I like stickers. Why is she gonna give me her little sticker? What is this? I guess this is somebody's halter top or something. I don't know. But anyway, so the handy dandy notebook is really important because this is how I plan my work week or days, my days. And then I use my stickers to plan out segments of my day, because without those, my brain is usually like like fried eggs. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you, girl, come on. So I have to plan my day out because, like I said, I have the day job. I got to focus on that. When I'm done with that, then I focus on what I have to do over here with the business. And then I have to break those up. I have to break them up based on Brownstone Living and Essentials, which houses, of course, our spices. And thank y'all so much for purchasing the spices. We're literally out like right now. Like I'm surprised. So we're gonna be getting another shipment of spices and stuff in here and get everything together so that we can get additional boxes out as we need. So I appreciate you all for purchasing and for supporting and showing some love. And thank you so much for sending me pictures and letting me know that you made your Easter dinner with the spices and that it was amazing. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Because even as a business owner and even as someone who has been in all kinds of, I've been in consignment businesses and stuff like that for years. One of the things that I know is that it doesn't hurt every once in a while to know that what you're doing is working for people. Okay. So that's where my brownstone living comes from. So we have that. This week, one of the things that we had to slow down on was content for the newsletter, which is coming out. We said it was going to come out last week, couldn't do it because why? Because we were in the middle of another crisis. It's always something. But what I've learned is that that can no longer just be the excuse anymore. So this is a truth that I'm willing to say to the open public because at the end of the day, y'all don't care about that. If you're following a business, if you're learning more about that business and you understand and you learn real early that that business is inconsistent, you're going to stick around? No, you're not. So I've had to make some adjustments and say, okay, this is the plan. This is how this is going to work. Is it going to be a monthly newsletter providing my little team time? Because my team consists of 3 people. Um, is it going to be enough to provide someone time to do that and to help with the programming and things of that nature for the station? Because that's what that person does. So are we doing what we need to do to make sure that you get sales and things like that we've talked about? Then that means we need to slow down. So always adjusting. Mondays are days for adjusting. The weekends are days for content. So if you're trying to figure out, because I get this question a lot too. So maybe I'm just like randomly talking. I get this question from people. How do you do it? Miss Paulette, where do you get the energy from? It's not that I have the energy. I plan it out. And I've also learned that one thing can be used for something else. So I also repurpose a lot of things as well. So sometimes like if I've cooked something, if I've prepared it, I've learned to make sure that I am creating the content where I can pull it as I need. So I have Dropbox and I've got this. And anytime I'm making a video or I'm doing XYZ, I'm able to use it and repurpose it for other things as I need on other platforms, not just maybe Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But you have to get to this point in your business where you're planning. Planning is essential. I don't know how in the world people do it where they just wake up in the morning like, what am I gonna do today? How in the hell y'all functioning like that? Like I don't understand. And that's okay for some people, but for people like myself that are trying to grow, people like myself who are trying to get to the other side, whatever that looks like, you gotta set some goals and you gotta make a plan. You gotta work that plan and then you gotta stay ready. I live by that. And so what we're doing this week, you knew it was coming, is we're actually running a little challenge. You don't have to sign up for it. I was going to do all that. And I thought, no, I don't even want to do all that. Okay, so and let me back up because it's going to be some people that I know are probably going to catch this that are part of my little mastermind group and stuff that I'm a part of. And they'll say, are you crazy? Yes. Yes. I'll tell you why. Because at the end of the challenge, you will know whether or not you want to stick around or not. And if you do, then yes, stick around. And there will be more on what that looks like when we've done the challenge. But at the end of the day, the challenge is really, really about learning how to make a plan, work your plan, and stay ready. And also making sure that when you're making the plan, that it's in line with what you want for yourself. What does that look like? Because that's what I've always kind of done the brownstone on. Like, what do I want? What does that look like? How do I see myself in a couple of years, or maybe in 6 months, 3 months? What are my monetary goals every month? What does that look like? What do I expect the store to make? What do I expect the spices to make? What do I expect? Because the store is Brownstone Living and Essentials in and of itself, right? So all of that is encompassed in it. What does that look like? And right now we're still running a special on Brownstone blends. For the entire month of April, you can get 20% off an entire starter box or a starter pack. So, what does that look like? And honestly, at the end of the day, welcome, you guys. Come on in. Thanks so much for joining. What that really looks like is somebody had to sit down and plan it out. It just didn't happen on its own. So, it is working your plan. You got to wake up. You gotta get up. You gotta wake up. You gotta get up. You gotta work your plan. You gotta make your plan, work your plan, and then you gotta stay ready, because you never know what's coming down the pipe for yourself and for your business. And what that means is also listen very closely, folks, to those people who may be considering going into business. Why are they flying around here? Is this you ready? No matter what it looks like, no matter who you are, no matter who's watching this, I want you to hear me clearly. Always do everything that you do with your business and with yourself with a level of excellence that cannot be replicated by anybody else. I don't know what that looks like for you, but I know what it looks like for me. I know that if I say I'm going to do it, I better produce. I know that when I have an idea or a concept, I better shut the hell up unless, of course, I'm ready to produce. Period. And I know that sounds like, wow, that's really deep. No, it ain't deep. It ain't deep. At the end of the day, if somebody wants a product or service from you, deliver. Deliver. Period. And if you can't, don't say that you can't. Because your reputation online remains online. And it can impact your business. So if you say you're going to do it, do it. If you say that you can, produce. If you're not able to, retract. How am I able to do that? Running my reports, assessing what my day looks like, finding out whether or not I need to bring, I hope I don't need to bring on a third or fourth person. Like, honestly, my budget, I'm not sure can handle it. That's just my truth. This is not all beds, a bed of roses over here all the time. There's some thorns in there and a couple of salamanders or whatever the sucker is running around me. But you got to be willing to go through all of that if you want to see what the other side looks like. And if you're talking about being in business for yourself, like I'm doing, it is not easy. So you got to really love what you do. You have to really enjoy um, and have a passion for it. You know what I mean? And also, let me say this. I'm going to put this out here too while I take another sip, while we just sitting out here talking. I had a conversation this morning with a good friend, and we were talking about businesses and what's happening right now. We're on the edge. We're so close. It's like my edges. Y'all see my little gray edges? They so gray, honey. It look like I don't have any hair. There's just gray. We're on that edge right there of what a recession is going to look like. We're so close. We're in the middle of an era where food is so expensive. I can't even remember. I can't literally, like, I cannot remember um, when food wasn't expensive. Okay, I just put ink on my little white shirt. Here's something else that I can't recall. I can't ever recall gas being this high, and I know that they're trying to do something about it, right? Here's something else. Businesses that were doing well during the pandemic aren't anymore. Let me break that down for you. In the beginning of the pandemic, when people were starting to head home, even we benefited. We benefited because we were willing to get up, put on a mask, do whatever we needed to do, go and source the product and sell it to the people that didn't want to do it. That's a true story. That's really what happened. And that's where we decided to open up Brownstone Living and Essentials. We got a building and we opened up the website. We did all of that, right? It was right when the pandemic first started. It was something that we were planning on doing anyway. That just sped everything up because we saw a need that needed to be filled. Not only that, everybody was getting PPP loans. Everybody was buying everything that they could online because they were out of work and they were trying to figure out how they were going to do XYZ. And so a lot of people that had products and services to offer were offering the golden ticket on how to do XYZ. It worked for some, but it didn't work for everybody. And that's okay. That's the way that business is. You have to find what works for you. And so now that we are experiencing a quote unquote slowdown of living in a pandemic and totally being on lockdown and all that other stuff, now we're starting to see the stark reality of really and truly and honestly being in business. I'm seeing it every all my friends who are business owners that talk about their business with me regularly are talking about it. They're not making the same amount of money that they were during the pandemic, and they don't know what to do. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, because I owned a business before there was a pandemic. I did that on purpose. So, what I want you guys to understand and know is that you gotta act as if there is no pandemic. You gotta treat it like life is just life, and you're not putting anything out for people to purchase because you just got anything, if that makes sense. Because that's what people were doing. A lot of people jumped on the bandwagon while it was still hot because we were in the middle of a pandemic and people were buying anything online that they could. Because number one, we had stimulus checks out, we had people getting PPP loans, whether they deserved it or not. There was money coming from every place. And people had money to spend on courses and challenges and things of that nature. Not to say that it's not necessary or needed now, or that they're invaluable, or that they have no value. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is treat this business that you have or your goal of making your business grow as if there was never a pandemic. What would you do? Whatever grind that you had, do that. And I watched it and I was like, okay. So in the middle of all of this, I had to witness, I had to sit back and say, watch this. I literally had this conversation with my daughter. As soon as the pandemic is over, all of these people that are making 6 and 7 figures that had never done it before online, it was going to dissipate. I saw this coming, not because I'm a psychic, but business is cyclical. We already knew that it was going to be an ebb and a flow. And the question is where you going to be? How you going to catch that wave? Or are you always going to find new and different ways to add to the products and services, to add value to what you're offering to your customers? That's the question. And so that's kind of where we are with KCCR. I can be like everybody else. I can play music. I won't do no more. Because you can get music anywhere, can't you? That's what I thought. Right. So because of that, we have to make those adjustments and those changes with the idea that people can go anywhere that they want. Why would they want to come over here? And that's the same question you should be asking people about your business. Why would they want to come over here? What's different? And then ask yourself this question. There's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King, there's a Wendy's. Why one over the other? People have their choices. Everybody's not going to be your customer either. That's another thing that we have to recognize and be okay with. Everybody's not your customer. And let's also talk about this. Let's talk about the fact that so many platforms understand that you are using their platform for business. I know that this is boring and it's really not as entertaining as me frying chicken and talking stuff and my son coming downstairs. This is a conversation that needs to be had. Okay. Number one is the truth within myself to say, I need to slow down, back up, and reroute. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being honest enough with myself in this process and planning it out accordingly. Do I still have a plan for the rest of the month? Absolutely. Do I still want to do the challenge this month? I'm doing it right now. Today is day one, and it's called Wake Up. It's called Wake Up. And if you got up this morning, like my friend Joe Brazil says, you've won. That's the first thing. So we are clear that we are wide awake. But are we really wide awake? And when I say wide awake, are you doing the due diligence with your business every day? Or are you just turning the lights on? That's a question that I have to make sure that I ask myself. Let me tell you what I do. Before I even get out of the bed, I run my reports. I have some that are automated that come directly to me, and I'll get an alert and I can look at it Literally, before I jump in the shower, before I work out, before I do anything in the morning, I need to know where we stand every single morning. I also look at my money every single morning. I want to know what's sold, what needs to be shipped, and I also need to know if I have any advertising dollars that we have been paid for with the website, with KCCR. I got to know. I have to stay on top of that, and I need to know where we need to pivot or adjust based upon the reports of engagement, who stayed how long where, and where our listeners are. All of those are important. Without that information, it would be hard for me to make a decision on what the next moves are for the business. Are you doing those things? Do you even know how much money you made this month yet? That's just a question. Because if you don't know, then is this really something that you need to be focused on? And if you don't know, hire somebody that does if it's in your budget. And if not, you better get a real good piece of software. I'm just being 100. If you're going to get in this game, get in the game and get in the game good. That's really where I am with this. If you're going to get in the game, get in the game. And if you're not, then enjoy your hobby. And I promise you, I'm not running a hobby. This is work. Not to mention all of the things that are happening with Facebook Reels and all of the other things that are a part of the brownstone now that literally fell in our lap and is an additional stream of income for us. Okay. It has afforded us an opportunity to bring in additional people, to pay people um, where they were just willing to do it. You know what I mean? So this has been very helpful, especially for KJ, who is the last one at home, because he even got a little piece of it, but he earns that. He absolutely earns that because he's a part of the reels. He helps edit some of those, all of that. And again, I even run reports on that. I can see who's engaged, who's not. I can see how many followers, what's happening, what works and what doesn't. I promise you, finding out where you are on an everyday basis is going to help you make better decisions for your business. But you got to run your reports. You got to run your money reports every day, and you have to run the reports to see how you're doing both online and off. You do. And then you have to assess your time and say, how much time am I putting into that? Is it really worth our time to focus on that? Because if it's not, then you need to remove it and place it with something that's comparable to the amount of money that you want to make. So this is more than just, coming on and we talking and all of that, you know. It's more to it than that. It really is. And so we have to be cognizant and mindful of what we're bringing to the table for our businesses to grow. Y'all, this tea, I'm gonna have to share it with y'all so y'all know what I'm talking about. Even the color, like it's just all tea for real. Now, one of the things that I have learned from running my reports is y'all really like to see me cook. That is, I mean, I knew that, but it was really interesting to kind of see how many people were actually staying engaged. Y'all, some of y'all staying engaged for the whole amount of time of the show. And y'all know sometimes I come on here and I have to get out of habit of this. I have to stop staying on here 2 and 3 hours because I do that. But y'all like to see me bake. So I have been pulling up cookbooks. Y'all, dump cakes. Really? But this one is, let's see, over 250 incredibly delicious recipes. And it's by someone by the name of what's her name? Kathy Mitchell. Why is this going to be fun? Because it's a dump cake. You ever had a dump cake? You ever had a really good dump cake? This has 250 recipes. You don't think that we're going to be trying some of these recipes? We sure are. Ooh, look at this one, y'all. An autumn dump cake. Look at that. So, I mean, so we have an autumn dump cake. We also have, this one is the caramel apple peanut cake. Caramel apple peanut is this one. So this one looks really good. Then we have cookies and cream, fruit, nut, and chocolate chip pie. Y'all, some of these pictures are absolutely adorable. Cranberry pear cake. So this is a really good one. See, look at that. Okay, so this is a cookbook I picked up at actually a flea market. I picked that up from a flea market. Look at this one, y'all. This one is so old. Um, look at how old this sucker is. Look at this. So this one is Women's Day Encyclopedia of Cookery. Sounds like a witchcraft book. Cookery. So I mean, but look at those pictures. Look at that. And so, like, when you open it up, every book has like, what year is this? Y'all. You want to know what year this book was printed? 1966, folks. 1966. And this book is in pretty good condition, actually. I feel really sad a lot of times when I see books that are getting ready to be thrown away. I'll just take it. We're not going to do anything with it. Look at these pictures, y'all. Look at this. You can actually see the 1960 just roll off the page. You see that? Hold on. Let me put it's crazy. Look. So you have, let me see, broccoli and chicken soup. I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay. So some of these recipes, broccoli piquat, I hope that's what it's called. Shad roll with bacon. I don't know what that is. But look at these pictures. Look at that. And all of the recipes in here. This book is in really excellent condition to be as old as it is. Um, Look at that. Petit fours on the back and cake and stuff like that. So Caribbean cookery, cake cookbook, casserole cookery, buffets, bread, beef, Belgian, breakfast, Canadian, and all that other stuff. Oh, look at this one with all these blackberries. You see that? So I like to look at some of the pictures sometimes, to kind of catch a vibe of what the book is about, and then go in. So here we have seafood bisque right here. This is a chilled seafood bisque, and I go through here and I look to see which recipes I want to try. And y'all, y'all ready for this one? Look at that one. Y'all remember? So actually, this is still. I got this from a flea market too. It was all the same one. I'm gonna show y'all these recipe cards too, because I have recipe cards that are available for you guys to purchase. But check this out. So these are recipe cards from a company called Healthy Meals in Minutes. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the only way that you could get these healthy meals in minutes was you had to call the 800 number that is on the back the um, of the recipe, on the side rather. But this is a really nice recipe card that you can kind of use. But y'all, this sucker is old too. It is from 1979. How about that? And then I have another one. So it was only two of these, and I think it was like a little sample that came in one of the books I bought. And then this one seems like it's rather new, right? 79. Yes, 79. So this one is from, so this whoever this person was. Okay, so this is from 2001. Okay. Um but whoever this person was, they had every Cooking Light magazine for like 20 years. Guess who got all of them? I did. I couldn't help myself. Like I couldn't leave them. Okay, I couldn't leave them. So this is from 2001 and this is Cooking Light. And of course, this one is teaching you all of the ways that you can, you know, look at this, y'all. Daily limit day planner for healthy eating. Y'all, like the stuff we go through to make sure. And this again is from 2001. But I had, oh, they ain't got no pictures. I don't like a book without no pictures, honey. You got to entertain me just a little bit. But this has um, chicken orange stir fry, perfect peaks, teaching you how to make meringue with your egg whites. Here we go. The essence of Indian. It's almost hilarious, unless of course they had someone who grew up eating that kind of food on their staff. Some of these recipes, honey, I don't know where they get them from. So here's another one. Here's some more pictures. Who is this? So it's garden vegetable stir fry with tofu and brown rice. And then fragrant chicken in creamy almond sauce. and kale cabbage saute. Ooh, yum. So there you go. There's those two right there. Of course, when I get done with it, honey, we're going to season it with a little brownstone blends. And it may not be the same after we do it. So these are roasted pepper pesto. Oh, that looks delicious. And then this one, spicy autumn crisp. So we have a ton of different recipes that we're going to be exactly. Give me a little picture, please. That's all I'm saying. Give me some pictures. Give me a little bit. I just need a little bit in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like this one right here, that we were just talking about. This one here from 1966 got all of the pictures, like for real. This one here, I really enjoyed because it's definitely not the same. It's not. And so what I really like about this one is this pictures. Look at that. Look at the spread on that. What is this? It is how to cook superbly braising. The art of braising. Let me just say this. It's some people that do this for a living now, and it would not be me. How about that? Because I'm not the one. But there's let's see. Method of cooking is especially recommended for the less tender cuts of meat, poultry, or game, as it combines browning and cooking. Ah, so there is. At least let me see what it's. That's right. Can I see what it look like? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So whenever I do a recipe, what I like to do is take a picture while I'm doing it and when it's done. And then also, if you go to my reels, you'll see, like yesterday, I made candy yams with the brownstone blend, cinnamon, nutmeg, and sugar blend. And then I made a ham. We braised the ham because I felt like it was a little tough. But then I also baked it really well. And we basted it and we used Coca-Cola, which is a staple in my household with ham, rather than using brown sugar. And then what else did I make yesterday? I had collard greens. I was gonna go live, y'all. But what I realized was based on my reports, based on my numbers, y'all was too busy with y'all family and friends for the holiday. So I wanted to make sure that I was coming on live while I knew that there were people that were going to be here, or else it didn't make sense. So I love this picture though. This is really, look at this. Oh, please listen. Man cannot live by bread alone. But then y'all gonna put this whole big old slice of bread with that butter on there. Okay, see that? So really, really cool. Okay, so Remy, let's talk about this. Let's talk about how I make the ham with Coca-Cola. You cannot use Sam's cola. You cannot use. You cannot. The first thing that you'll do is you'll get you 2 liters of Coca-Cola. Listen close, and you will get your roasting pan that will hold your um, your ham and the soda. You will pour. You will, of course, you'll make sure your ham is cooked or whatever, and uh, or smoked. So I usually get the smoked version, so where it's not raw or whatever, which but it's a smoked ham, and then I open it up and I put it directly into an entire 2 liter bottle of soda. It has to be Coca-Cola. Then once I do that, then I take it out of the quote unquote brine, and then I put it directly into the oven. And it has to sit at least for 6 hours in the Coca-Cola, so it can get right into the meat and the flesh, so that it provides that sweetness to that salty from the smoking that it's already done. And then we put it in the oven. I score it if it hasn't already been scored. So I don't buy the ham that's already been spiraled for you. I score the outside, the fat, and then I pour fresh Coke into the bottom of the pan, and I put it in the oven. And then we let it get a little caramelized because it's sugar in there. And then I add a little water and I start to baste. I baste the ham. I baste the ham. Now remember, it's already cooked. You ain't got to do much to it. And if you want to add, your sugar and your pineapple and stuff like that, you can. But the only thing I add to mine is onion, and I'm done. I don't do nothing else to it. That's it. Now I will bake it with the top on, and then right before I take it out of the oven, I turn the oven up just a little bit. So if it's on 375, I put it up to about 420, 425, and then I will allow it to get that crispiness on the outside, and then I put a piece of foil on top of it and let it rest. And I take it out of the oven. That's it. And it doesn't take long. And in between that time, you would have already had your greens cooking, made sure that you had your smoked turkey or whatever you're going to use for your greens in there. It's already simmering. And so, honestly, here's the truth: cooking should not be so much of a chore that you are exhausted after you do it. You baking a ham just what'd you say? I'm gonna bake a ham just cause. Yeah, go ahead and bake a ham just cause. It'll be a lot of fun to try it and just really just use that Coca-Cola and base it. Do not you better not use Sam's because Sam's doesn't have the same bite. So don't use a knockoff brand of Coca-Cola. Make sure that you use the regular Coke. Don't be using no sugar free, none of that. Okay. And just let it do what it do like that. So that's what I really like about how I do it, and it was taught to me, and that's how we make our ham. Now, I understand that my dressing is fabulous, so one day I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna make my dressing because I make that a special way too, and it's probably been done before, but everybody doesn't know it. So that's that. Yes, and so with your ham, get your corn on the cob. We're gonna make some corn on the cob tonight. No, that's a lie. Let me tell you why, because we have leftovers from yesterday. So it don't even make sense for me to come on live later and cook anything until they finish eating this. Honey, we had peach cobbler yesterday that still has to be eaten, chocolate cake. Listen, we got that whole ham. We have the collard greens that are left over with the turkey wings in it, the smoked turkey wings. We also have the dressing. We have some of that. KJ tore that dressing. I see now I'm going to have to just make him his own dressing. Okay, on his own. That's what we're gonna have to do. And then what else did I make? Candy yams. I did. I did. And then that was it. And there's so much left. Me cooking today would be a waste. No, I ain't making both. No, the devil is a lie. No, we're not gonna do that. Nope, not happening. You didn't make a roast? No, ma'am, I did not. We didn't make a roast. We didn't do none of that. We just out here, we just doing our thing. So y'all, here's something else that I have been paying attention to y'all know how I do. I always like to come on here and school y'all on stuff so that you are in the know. I got an Oculus. I had to pause just for a moment. Y'all, I got an Oculus. And it's the device, the virtual reality device from Facebook. And I bought it about a month ago. It's been about a month. And I got it. And I went online and I went into the metaverse. And when I went into the metaverse, there were people in the metaverse just like me. And we were talking and having conversation. You become an avatar. And it is the craziest thing. It blew my mind. I was like, this can't be real. So what really started it was my daughter's fiance has one. And she was like, Ma, you should try it, XYZ. So while I was in Wisconsin, um, I tried it out, and there's actually a video of me trying it out for the first time, and it scared me so bad. I screamed at the top of my lungs. I went on ahead and posted that too because it was so funny. But I had an opportunity to try the Oculus, and I understand where they are trying to go with the metaverse. I absolutely get it. Now, are all things going to do well in the metaverse? No, that's obvious. But if I were you, I would learn how to get into the metaverse so that you could kick the tires a little bit. And the reason why, especially if you're a business, is finding out exactly how this sucker works. There are actual platforms that you can become a part of now to build out your business in the metaverse. Okay. Yep, there are. And I am learning how to build out a store in the metaverse. It actually don't take that long, but just the fact that I can do this and then my store is going to be available to people for you all to purchase goods and products. Have I broken anything? What you mean break? In the metaverse? Or did I bump up against something? So when you're in the metaverse, before you actually set up anything, you have to set your floor height, and you also have to set the parameters of your what they call your guide. And so when you're in there, like when you set your guide up, it's based on no obstructions or anything in your floor, because the VR the unit knows if if you got something in the way. So you have to put everything in this little circle, and so you have to stand in a circle in order for the universe, the metaverse, to actually be present for you. And so I created an entire apartment, and then I'm able to go through and see the different apps. I'm a part of an app that's called Supernatural, where you're able to work out. Also, did you break anything yet? No, 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 no. So in terms of bumping into stuff, I did once, and that's because KJ was being stupid. Okay, and he was like, "Mother, what are you doing?" And it scared me, and I bumped into him, you know. But you got to be careful, and I'm gonna tell you now, if any one of you all has never had, y'all, I live by a small airport. These people have these private planes, and you don't mind. Okay, so yeah, so he was like, "So mother, what are you doing?" And it scared me. Now, mind you, I had just started boxing for the first time in the metaverse, and that terrified me because it's so freaking real. Now, when you're in this place in the metaverse called, what's it called? It's called venues. You're gonna go into this place called venues, and um, when you look around you, you're going to be able to see your hands, your arms. You can open up your wrist like Spider-Man. And I know that was actually a helicopter. Gets on my nerves. So there's there's a little bar that opens up for you on your wrist in the metaverse, and you can take your other finger and you can press, and it's a practice. You got to get really good at it. So you could press and take, and then you get like this little camera and you can take selfies. I've taken selfies in the metaverse and shared them on my Facebook page, Yvette Berry. Um, it can give you vertigo if you're not careful. Like the first couple of times I did it, I got dizzy and nauseated a little bit because it's taking you somewhere else. Like all of this is inside the metaverse. So like where I'm sitting right now and I see the blue sky and the puffy clouds and all that other stuff, y'all, you could see the same thing in the metaverse, and it is real, and you are standing in water and you are swimming with the fishes and all. It is crazy. It is if you are not careful, you could get caught up in there and make a decision never to come out. Now, here's what really tripped me out was I was searching through trying to see, who's here, whatever. So I walked into the venues first because I wanted to see. There was a concert. There was a Young Thugs concert. There was a Foo Fighters concert. There was like an MMA event going on and like some other stuff, right? And these are scheduled events. So I'm like, oh, I want to go see. I want to see what it's like. And I get there, and you are teleported. Your avatar self is teleported. It's crazy. And I'm like, oh, wow, wow. And there's this guy, I hear this man's voice clear as a bell behind me, and he says, oh, you must be new here. What? Yes, I'm new here. What's going on? It scared the mess out of me, and did. And so I turned around, and it was an avatar of a brother with a silver bill. Come on, Silver Fox, you better. So we started talking, and he's explaining to me how long he had been doing it. He's been doing it for over a year. And he was like, whenever he gets off work, he goes into the metaverse and he goes fishing. Wait a minute, what? He goes fishing every single day. Not only that, but he and his homeboys meet up in the virtual metaverse and they go fishing every day. So y'all hear the birds, and like if you were in my backyard, you would definitely be able to hear the creek. You can hear it's like you're there, and it's like they fishing and they chilling by the creek and they doing whatever. And so I went into the Young Thug concert. Y'all, you got front row access to this. You got front row access to MMA events. You got front row access to all of this stuff. And I thought, this is crazy. So if you are an artist, if you want to have an art gallery, if you want to present your products or services, this is one way where people can literally go shopping in this virtual world and order your products, and you send it to them. It's crazy. I thought I could never, but you could. And I did. And I went on there, and I thought, okay, I want to build one. So I'm starting to build one. I'm learning how. Here's something else you need to know about Meta. I would check out Meta because they're offering free classes on how to do a lot of this stuff. Now, they're also offering a scholarship program. I don't know how you catch it. I'm going to have to find out how. They're offering a scholarship program because my daughter signed up for it and got it, where you can become a certified Meta social media professional or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. So her first test, I think it's tomorrow. So I'm curious to see how this is going to work because um, things are moving so fast that even in the physical world of Facebook, where it is, there are a lot of glitches that people are, talking about amongst the groups, right? So if you don't have the Oculus, find out how to get into the metaverse. Um, excuse me. Hmm. It's all that pollen, y'all. So that's the first thing that I would do. Excuse me. Congratulations. Yeah, girl. Mm. That is certainly what I would do. Is get into the metaverse and learn as much as you could. I'm sitting out here with all this pollen, and I'm not allergic. It's just in my throat. But anyway, so enough of that. Let me see what time it is. All right, it's 2:59. That's actually pretty daggone good. So y'all, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to encourage you to come back and hang out. Download the app. You know what it is. Actually, I'm gonna show you. Download the KCCR My Brownstone Living app and listen in. Right now, gospel is playing. And the reason why is because I just loaded, right? I had to because I'm continuing to program our Monday through Friday days. And that's what I'm doing after I get off work. So the news and everything is running. Everything is good to go. We're good. Let's see. Download the app. Go ahead and check out mybrown.living.com for the Brownstone Blend Seasoning Starter Pack. What I would encourage you to do is to use the code, our code for your first Brownstone Living Starter Pack is We Thank You 2022 so that you can get 20% off your first starter pack. Your starter pack comes with Brownstone Blends, Everyday Blend, your garlic, lemon, pepper, turmeric, jerk, jerk, and also the cinnamon, nutmeg, and sugar blend. Ooh, that sounds good. So, today, what we are doing with today's challenge is we are talking about. Let me see. Oh, I accidentally am looking into that. Yes, girl, look into that Oculus. It is crazy. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's expensive. It's like $399. Um, but y'all know somebody gonna come out with a knockoff eventually. They're gonna have to, cause boy, that sucker's expensive. Um, what was I gonna tell y'all? These birds are out here living their best life, y'all. They are living their best life. I want y'all to know. So, all of that aside, that's where you're going to get your blends at mybrownstoneliving.com. Your blends also come with the 4 spices. It also comes with an entire My Brownstone Living towel and kitchen mitt set that is going to be sent to you along with 4 recipe cards. Yes, yes, girl, it is $399. And that was because it was on sale. Okay. Now, for those of you all who are not familiar with there are payment options. Like you can use Klarna, Afterpay, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you could just pay for it outright. It's completely your choice. But definitely check it out. Definitely check it out. Now, what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day, outside of handling my business with my day job, since my break is officially over, is I'm going to encourage you to remember to do those things we talked about. Run your reports on your business. You must. You must. You got to know how you're doing, or this is really just a moot point, right? Make sure that you know what sold, what didn't. Make sure that you're looking at your money, you're looking at your numbers, you're looking at your insights, you're following, the suggestions made by mentors and other people that have been doing this for some time and have had success, and connect with people that are doing what you want to do. Get out of the circles that are not showing you a daggone thing. All they doing is hyping you up. That's not paying your bills, and that's not helping you to see what could be with your business. So get with like-minded people who want to grow and who are going to continue to push you forward, because that's what I'm doing. Is it scary? Absolutely. It is frightening as hell. But if I want to see what this business can truly do, I'm willing to do the extra work. I'm willing to go the mile. And that means that I'm going to have to really put my best foot forward and make it do what it do. So, with that said, that's my time, y'all. It's time for me to get back to work. I thought I would just come on here and hang out with you all for a little while. I've been on for an hour, so that's good. We talked about a lot of stuff. Remy, it's so good to see you. Um, and lastly, 3 things that I always like for you to do outside of listening to KCCR, even in the middle of all of this. Listen, you ready? Love your life. It's the only one that you have. Live your life to the fullest and enjoy every single moment of your experiences here in this physical plane. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. That's all I want you to do so that you can live your best life. That's love, live, breathe. That's it. All right, y'all. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday because on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's something else that I had to learn how to do too, y'all. I can't come on here every day. I'm busy. I'm swamped. So much has happened, and we need to talk about that. Okay? Because at the end of the day, Facebook Reels has monetized 4 of my business pages. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. And I'm here for it, but it's a lot of work. Okay? So you all, Remy, please tell the team I said I love them. And hey, y'all, I'm still in the WhatsApp. I see y'all. Um, but I'm so busy, but not too busy to come on here and set a spell. All right? So until next time, I will see you, good people, on the next edition of Tips, Topics, and Talk. Take heed to what I said today, y'all. Bye.